Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Throughout the Black Ops 6 beta so far, there's honestly been a lot to talk about. We obviously all got our hands on Omni Movement for the first time. There is a bit of a throwback to more classic map design, being 3-laned with all the maps that we've played so far. The general gunplay, the general gameplay as well, the new attachment system. Like, there's a lot to dive into with just the beta alone, right? And as we've discussed here on the channel in some of my review videos, and will continue to do so as I have like a final review and final brutal thoughts coming up, there's a lot that I think is good about this game, right? However, as much as there is a lot of fun to be had on Black Ops 6, in my opinion, there are a few specific things that I think unfortunately impact pretty much everything else in the game and really limit the potential experience you can have. And quite frankly, it's not a great look, especially considering some of these, in some cases, could have ruined the entire beta for a lot of players. And the reason that I say that some of the stuff is a pretty bad look for BO6 is because, let's face it, this is a beta, but it's also mainly just a marketing thing for Call of Duty. Like, the game will change some between now and the launch on October 25th. There will be some feedback taken into consideration from the beta, and they'll tune things, they'll adjust things here and there. But pretty much, the beta is as close as you can almost get to the final version of the game. And with that, this is far more marketing than it is a true actual test. So much of the beta is pre-order to get early access, confirm your purchase for our full game to get early access, buy the Vault Edition to get bonus content in the beta outright, right? It's meant to get you to buy the game. It's marketing. It's fun to have the test and it's fun to have the beta and have an actual impact, hopefully long term, by giving feedback, but this is marketing. And some of this marketing was severely overshadowed by some of these severe negatives that were discovered within the beta through a lot of gameplay experience with a lot of players. The first thing above all was the severe and noticeable connection instability issues, largely revolving around packet burst. This was one of my main complaints in my weekend one review and initial thoughts and impressions on the game. And spoiler alert, when I drop my final thoughts on the game and what I think is wrong with Black Ops 6, it's also a big subject there as well. Because if you were playing on great internet, guess what? You were probably packet bursting. If you were playing on not great internet, you were packet bursting. If you were playing on console, you were probably packet bursting. If you're playing on PC, you were probably packet bursting. This is something that affected pretty much every single player in the beta multiple times per game even. And it is a severe hindrance with your overall gameplay experience. Like I said, you could be a huge fan of Omni Movement, you could be a huge fan of a particular weapon, or absolutely love a certain mode on a certain map and be really looking forward, all right, we've got, Skyline hardpoints, I'm using my favorite SMG, this is gonna be a fun match. But you're packet bursting, so you can't really fully experience that. And considering that this is marketing to say, hey, look, this is our big game, come and buy it, come and play it on launch. What if your experience going into this as a, free-to-play player perhaps, or even as someone even worse maybe, who pre-ordered the Vault Edition, let's say, which usually I would always recommend to hold off until you've actually played the game because of reasons like this. You spend all this money, you pre-order, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to, see what I'm getting for my money this year. And your experience is incredibly laggy, incredibly stuttery, just not enjoyable because you are packet bursting. Well, then it doesn't matter if one weapon is super fun or one map is super fun to play on, or you really love the new gunsmith updates, or you just got a new computer to have like the best frames possible. You're gonna have a super smooth experience. You got your scuff controller or whatever, right? Well, guess what? None of that matters because you're packet bursting and the connection is just so unstable. So that overshadowing pretty much every good element of the gameplay experience is rough. And players will remember how much they were packet bursting on this game. Now, can they address this? I fully believe they can. I don't know if that is adjusting their idea of having the forced texture streaming, because in the past, that's been proven to be a source of packet burst, like within MW3 and Warzone, and now it's forced, so maybe that's a reason why it feels so, heightened in this beta. Maybe it is a big server issue, and COD finally has to go through and fully commit to updating their servers. Who knows? But it's something that absolutely should be addressed. It's just a matter of, will they do it? And that's a giant question mark right now. But that's not the only bad look for BO6 so far, unfortunately. Another huge issue was the shadow ban and the temporary ban system. We talked about this a couple of days back when, certain very high-level players like Crimzix and Shotzi, literal CDL pros, they were getting shadow banned and temp banned from spam reports. Now, this is not the first time we've seen this situation arise. In fact, ever since the shadow ban system was created back in Warzone 1, this has been a problem. Players can spam report other players truthfully without any reason whatsoever. You could just not like someone on the other team and spam report them, and there's a decent chance they could get shadow banned, or for whatever reason, this new temporary ban that's been added within the Black Ops 6 beta that actually ended up being like a 10-day ban for a ton of players. Meaning, if you were someone who pre-ordered the game, got early access, again, committed your money to Call of Duty, said, all right, I'm buying the game this year, I'm excited to see the beta, you played well for a match and someone on the enemy team was like, okay, sick of this guy, I'm spam reporting him, or hey, everyone in my squad, let's report this guy, get him shadow banned because it's absolutely a thing that can work. Well, guess what? Now that person who got a 10-day temporary ban, even though they were not cheating, they were not doing anything wrong, now can't play during the pre-order early access beta that they paid for. And if that full ban actually is upheld and lasts the full 10 days, well, then that also encompassed the second weekend of the beta as well. So you just quite literally could not play it. And I know for a fact this happened to a ton of players because it's been a huge talking point on social media, on Twitter, on YouTube, like in my comments, on Reddit, of genuinely innocent players getting temporary bans as a result of the trash spam report system, and then they just got their entire beta experience taken away. Now, luckily, I did see some players report that, hey, I got a temp ban, but I submitted an appeal to Activision and it actually got taken away, or it said I was banned, but then I tried to get on the next day and I was suddenly okay. It seemed like they reversed some of them, but definitely not all of the wrongful temporary bans. Now, there probably were some justified shadow bans and temp bans for people actually trying to cheat using third-party programs or actual little aimbot wall hacks, whatever, which, I mean, if you're cheating in a beta, I don't know what to tell you. You gotta take a look in the mirror, right? But still, some were justified, a lot were not though, and a lot of those unjustified temporary bans and shadow bans, once more, will be remembered when the full game drops. And it's like, oh, should I buy the new COD? Am I gonna get to play the new COD? Am I just gonna get shadow banned or temp banned right away? Gotta think about that one. So another bad look. And then lastly, something that I was actually just talking about with cheaters, yeah, they were all over the place in the beta, more so during the open weekend, of course, because it's free to play. However, there were still plenty of cheaters during the early access beta. Now, I truly can't comprehend that. Why would you spend money to pre-order the game and then cheat, knowing you're probably going to get at least banned on that account? And then if you want to play more during the early access and cheat more, you got to spend more money. Such a waste of money in general and time for everyone involved. But cheaters were running rampant. There were some pretty crazy clips that I saw. I know one in particular, Charlie Intel posted of Symphony getting aimbotted on, and it was actually confirmed that that cheater had to get manually banned mid-match, and they said shortly after, they were detected and everything. But why are they able to go in, get like a 8 headshot spree, and Ricochet not even realize that they were cheating until after the fact? And they had to get detected manually by someone in the stream, right? Like, there's so much improvement that has to happen to Ricochet to stop having these conversations. And again, spoiler alert, this is a topic in my final critical review of the game coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. But again, you play the beta, you're like, I wonder if COD's gonna be different this year. Maybe they made some changes. Oh, this level 4 has a maxed out XM4 and he's only hitting headshots and I can't move. This is not a fun experience. So how do you look at all this as a player and look forward to the full game launch? Well, my experience was dwindled because the packet bursting connection sucked. My experience was taken away because I was temporarily banned and couldn't play the beta. Or when I did get to play and I was finally not lagging, I got cheated and hacked on. What about this makes me want to buy the full game? So this is a marketing strat. Definitely, takes a step back when suddenly people who are playing this considering buying the full game, or people playing this having committed to trying to play the full game, suddenly have their experience just diminished severely. Maybe they go through, they refund. Maybe they go through and they don't end up pre-ordering even though they thought they were going into the beta. Well, like I said, there's a lot that I really do enjoy about this game, and these issues aren't specific to Black Ops 6. Let's be clear, these are all issues that encompass Warzone and MW3 and have encompassed other COD titles for years. There's still a lack of actual response from Activision to the vast majority of these things, and that has to change if they want to fully, push forward with COD and actually have, I think, a lot of these things be more memorable in a positive light than more memorable in a negative light. Hey, you remember during the beta when everyone was getting cheated on and that guy was getting crazy headshots? Hey, you remember when I couldn't play the beta because I got shadow banned? Like, that's not a great takeaway for something that's meant to try and entice you and incentivize you to buy the full game. So hopefully this stuff is addressed. I'm going to continue to talk about these things, to shine light on these things, because these are subjects that need to be responded to by Call of Duty. It's long overdue, and I'll continue to push for that as long as they aren't addressed, right? So if you want to help share the video around, get more attention on these topics, just do me a quick favor, drop a like. It does really help the channel grow, and share the video around. And if you're new here, you want to guarantee you're always up to date with everything going on in COD, feel free to hit that subscribe button on your way out as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.